Hello everyone, Fancy here, you're watching FANTAVISION, and today I'm discussing the Analogue Pocket. Now the Analogue Pocket is like one of those nostalgia upgraded retro consoles. So it's like a super premium Game Boy Color, I get, like Game Boy Color Light, because this thing can play Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and original Game Boy. And it plays the actual cartridges and not an emulation. So it's not an emulation station. It's like one of those NES systems that they released where it like upgrades the graphics and makes the colors all vibrant, and you plug it in through HDMI and all that sort of stuff, and it's really expensive. That's what this is like. This is about $200, which is already going to turn off most people out there. They'll be like, okay, $200 for a thing that can play Game Boy games. Why would I want that? Now, I understand that sentiment, but at the same time, it is pretty cool to have something that is going to upscale the games from your childhood and play games that are going to look, it's going to make it look better than it ever has. And I think that's a pretty cool thing that a lot of these hardware manufacturers are doing nowadays. And I'm never going to discourage it because, it's fun to see other people discuss them and then kind of ponder it myself at the same time. But there are a few things that are kind of keeping me from ordering this thing, and we'll discuss that as I'm talking about it, all the different features and stuff. So, now like I said, it can play the Game Boy games, but you can also use cartridge adapters to make it compatible with Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket, Atari Lynx, and more. Now, that's another what? So you have to buy the adapters for these games? With at $200, like, you think you'd include those sort of things. And the fact that it's multiple adapters, it's not some all-in-one thing that you can just kind of slap on the back. That kind of sucks. How much is it going to be per adapter? It says and more. How many more consoles are they going to allow this thing to work with? And how many more adapters am I going to have to buy for this damn thing? It keeps getting more and more expensive as we go on. The emulation, so there's no emulation with this thing. Like I said, this is not an emulation station, but it does have a micro SD slot. So knowing people and the internet, they're going to find a way to make this thing be an emulator. Now, of course, you can just get around and emulate anyway with a flash cart, but it'd be kind of cool just to have it on a micro SD card, I feel like. So once they figure out emulation for this thing, I might be more inclined to buy it. And I know that completely defeats the purpose of it, and I definitely still play a bunch of cartridge-based games on it, but it would be nice to not have to carry around a whole bag of cartridges or those old cartridge organizer things that I used to have for my Game Boy Advance game, because it's just, I don't know. It's just so much stuff that you used to have to bring around with you all the time when I was a kid. I had my CD player, my Game Boy cartridges, my Game Boy, the Game Boy charger, the car charger, all of these different things. And now I just have my phone and a Switch, and I've got like two things. And I know I've got Switch cartridges, but they're so tiny, they all fit in the case, so I don't have to worry about them. And it's nice to be able to have everything in one thing and not have to worry about packing a bunch of these bulky carts. So if they can figure out emulation, I might be more, I don't know. It's still $200. Let's continue. Okay. 1600 by 1440 resolution, which is 10 times that of the original Game Boy. And it's supposed to have like a wide color palette, so it's supposed to make the games look a lot more vibrant, more lively, and just look better overall. So I'm really interested to see what games are going to look like on this thing, because I really do love retro gaming. I used to collect retro games all the time. So like I said, I have most of the cartridges for the games that I want. But, there's so many things out there that have upgraded these games and made them look great. The NES Classic, Super Nintendo Classic, they've made these games look wonderful. And you can already mod those things and put those games on it. Now, it is cool that this is handheld, but another thing, like I said, they've made other things like this that are available for emulation and have a nice screen. But it sounds like with this, they're spending a lot more time and care in the upscaling of these games. So it'll be interesting to see kind of a side-by-side comparison between other handheld emulation systems and something that is meant to be playing just cartridges but upscaled. So it'll be cool. I don't know. I think that'll be really interesting. I don't know if I'll be buying one of these myself. I guess I can leave it up to you guys. Should I buy one of these? But again, we'll wait till the end before I kind of decide whether or not I feel like this thing is worth the $200. Another thing that's cool about it is that there's going to be a dock for this thing, so it's going to be kind of like a Switch. But again, the dock is going to be separate, which that sucks. But again, I understand why all these things are separate. I don't really understand the adapters so much, but I do understand the dock being separate. I mean, unlike Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, these guys are not making money off of licensing because, I mean, they're not making games specifically for it. They're not going to have people licensing games for it. So they got to make money off the hardware. So that's probably why it's $200. That's why you have to buy the additional adapters, and that's why you have to buy a dock. The dock is cool though because you can use 8-bit Do, Bluetooth controllers, and you can also use any USB controller with the dock. Now, it says controllers. I don't really understand what games you'll be able to play two-player on because they're handheld games and you can't play two-player on the same handheld, so don't quite know what that's for, but I don't know. Maybe they just know that people are going to hack this thing and put NES games, Super Nintendo games, and all that sort of stuff. Whatever it can handle. Sega Genesis games. Oh, but you know what? The problem is... No, it does have the 4 buttons. Okay. So yeah, I feel like they're almost knowing that people are going to do that. And that, again, is going to be something that's going to lean me towards buying it because that'd be really cool. And again, I know that you can already mod the PSP Go and PS Vita and a bunch of other handheld systems, or you can just get flash carts and do it that way. But I love the Game Boy Color design of it. I love that it's just, and the ability to play cartridges on it. I keep looking at the price and then I keep thinking about it. It's just like back and forth. Also, something that is really strange about this system is that it comes with a like music making program. You can make electronic music on this thing. That's so random, but I love it. What do they call it? They call it Nano Loop, and they call it a digital audio workstation. It's a built-in digital audio workstation in this thing where you can capture and edit and you can sculpt, as they say, your songs and make them live. Like you can use this at a show if you wanted to. I don't know who that's for, but I guess if you're bored or you make music already, you're a musically inclined person, this is exactly what you're looking for. I mean, I guess there are lots of retro nerds that also love electronic music or make electronic music on their own, and that's cool. I'm not going to knock it for having it in there. I mean, I'm never going to make, say bad things about extra features that are not getting in the way of anything. I don't know, it's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know if I bought this thing, if I'd ever use that part of the system. I probably would play around with it, go, I'm bad at this, and then stop doing it, but cool, I guess, you can make music on it. And there's something about how they're trying to encourage developers to use their hardware to kind of create their own stuff with it. So it sounds like they are open to people using this hardware to create new things for it. So it'll be interesting to see what people do with this system. Like I said, we're going to see emulation happen probably immediately. And I look forward to this coming out. I don't know if I'll be buying it because, like I said, that price tag is super high, $200. And the thing is, the release date is 2020. I don't know when. It doesn't know when. You can sign up and get notified. But the thing is next year, that's when all the consoles are coming out. How in the world are they going to compete when the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet are coming out? I mean, I feel like at the end of this year, like November, if this thing was coming out in November, maybe I would impulse buy this thing and do a review on it and look into the hacking community and figure out what people are doing with this thing, because I'd have the time. And why not? I'm not having to spend a bunch of money on new consoles right now. But because this is launching the same year that the other big two companies are putting out their flagship systems, they're going to have to compete with that. And I understand that this is for a niche market of retro collectors and people that enjoy nostalgic old games. But at the same time, a lot of people in that market are also interested in new games. I'm part of both markets. So the fact that this is going to be coming out with the new systems is going to make it difficult. Also, it said on the website that this thing is a limited release. So if this is truly going to be a limited numbered item, that sucks. Because that means unless they put in like a one per person type thing, they're going to buy, like some scalpers going to buy these up and just sell them on eBay. And then the secondary market's going to take over and no one's going to be able to buy this thing at MSRP. So it's already expensive at $200. I can't imagine what the secondary market's going to do with it. Especially if they do hype this thing up and enough people want to buy it. And it does sell out like that. The secondary market is going to skyrocket this thing in price. I love the idea of it. I love the screen on it. But there's too many unknowns right now. We don't know how much the adapters are. We don't know how long the battery lasts. We don't know if there's going to be available emulation in the future. Like, I'm sure there will be. It's got an SD card reader. I don't know. I know the SD card thing is probably for music, but I feel like people are going to use it to put their own games on there. People are going to figure it out. And that especially I feel like will drive the hype for this thing. The fact that you'll be able to put all that stuff on there. With all that, let me know in the comments what you guys think of this system. Also, let me know if I missed anything about it. I'm sure I did. There's some other specs, at the bottom of the page if you really wanted to know. Rechargeable lithium-ion battery. It's going to be a 3.5-inch screen. The buttons are mappable, so that's cool. Which also, the buttons are mappable. So, that sounds like emulation to me, doesn't it? Micro SD, USB-C charging, which is awesome because almost everything is USB-C right now. So it just makes it easier. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Original style link plug. If that is what I think it means, or if that is what I think it is, you're going to be able to play multiplayer with this thing. So we're talking about Pokemon trading, Pokemon battles, Mario Kart races. That's so sick if you can do all of that. The fact that they included a way to play multiplayer in this thing is awesome. What would really be cool is if they put Wi-Fi in it. But I guess that wouldn't make any sense because none of those games are Wi-Fi. But I don't know. Like I said, the hacking community can do anything. Anything else in here? Rechargeable battery, we talked about that. 615 ppi is part of the resolution. It's with the colors. I think that's good. I don't remember. But other than that, let me know in the comments what you guys think of this system. If you'll be picking one up when it's available. If you guys think it's too expensive, something like that. Like the video if you guys liked it. Subscribe for more content. And as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys. Today I'm drinking passion fruit LaCroix. And this is the 2.5 times I've recorded this video. Because the first time I made the whole video, which I feel like was my best take, didn't record any of the audio from the microphone. Good job, me. Didn't click the record button. The second time, which was the half, I recorded about 7 minutes, and then the battery died on the camera. Yeah. Maybe I should have taken that a hint and not made the video. Who knows? Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I am serious about picking this thing up. I don't know. Seriously thinking about it. Tempting. I don't need it, but I do want it.